All is well. The Eagles win 6-2 heading into the bye week. All of the people like myself that were a little bit worried after watching the first Eagles and Giants game, the Eagles took care of that yesterday and gave really. There's lots of Sundays where I need, as a fan, I need the game to be fourth quarter. I'm putting my legs up. I'm not worried about the last 3 minutes of the game. I'm not throwing up in a bucket because they got a field goal instead of a touchdown, and now it's a 6-point game. And I can see in slow motion the Giants driving down the field for a touchdown and extra point, and the game is over. That did not happen yesterday, and I am very thankful for that. And really, we talked to Tim McManus on Friday, and one thing that he had said, and honestly, between Harry and Ray and Tim McManus, I felt much better exiting the air on Friday than I did entering the show because everybody made really good points. And one thing that Tim said really stuck with me, which was all week, the tone of the locker room was, we got dominated on the line of scrimmage in the first matchup, and that's not going to happen again. Jordan Mailata talked about it. A lot of the players talked about it. So what did you see right from Jump Street? You saw that not only were they going to run the ball, they were going to effectively run the ball. Saquon Barkley, first carry of the game, bam, takes it to the house. But then even after that, they kept running the ball with great success. And then Tank comes in the game after Saquon exits with an injury. And he's just running over fools. And he's getting out there and he's creating contact. And he had over 100 yards. So even though last week we had said our show motto was going to be hashtag throw the ball, hashtag they didn't need to throw the ball yesterday. They were very good running the ball, and Jalen Hurts very efficient in the passing game. No A.J. Brown, no problem. Dallas Goedert was great. Devontae Smith was great. Dotson made a big play. If people had overs on Dotson, over on receiving yards, you got it on that one reception. So really, all in all, offensively, exactly what you were looking for. I'm in the fourth quarter. I'm not even really I'm halfway paying attention. I'm flipping over to Red Zone. And it's like, this is great. Heading into a bye week, because what would happen, even if they had trouble getting the win yesterday, God forbid they lose the game. I've done sports radio in this town a long time, and I know what that would have been like for 2 weeks. It would have been brutal. And it makes you feel good. Makes you feel good as an Eagle fan because now after 8 games, 6-2, maybe some of us thought they'd be 7-1 or even 8-0. They had a really tough start to the year as far as the schedule. They won all 4, lost 2 games. Winning these next 2 games and heading into the bye week really, for me, puts me at ease. And I see some confidence that is now built on this team to where I'm excited to see them come out after the bye week because they have a tough stretch. They have some tough games coming right out of the bye week. But I think you have to overall be really, really pleased with where the team is right now. Kevin Patullo has looked much more comfortable calling plays, coming up with wrinkles that have been effective. We've seen that the last couple weeks. Jalen Hurts has been throwing the ball very well. They haven't had to rely on him running the ball and trying to do everything, making plays. And the defense yesterday got to Jackson Dart and got to the quarterback very effectively. Really a good day for the defensive line, a good day for the defense. I don't know how many Eagles fans are satisfied going into the bye week. Put me down for total satisfaction. You're not hearing about fire Kevin Patullo. You're not hearing about benching players. 6-2 into the bye week. I'm feeling good. Ray Dunne, good morning. How are you, buddy?
So much good.
Yeah, I'm feeling great.
So you're feeling great?
I feel great. I mean, what you watched yesterday was everything you wanted. You wanted everything to be silenced. If you're a fan of this football team, you wanted it to be very, very difficult and very, very creative thinking for us for the next 2 weeks in how we're going to talk about this football team. Because you come out of that win and you're like, all right, defense shut down an offense that seemed like it found answers. Oh, Dart, he's the new big thing in the NFL. Oh, boy, how are you going to slow down this rookie quarterback? That's how you're going to slow him down.
Yep.
13 points until that last garbage time drive, which, hey, he is a professional now because he's figured out how to put up some numbers late in the game that'll make everything look a lot prettier. Good for you, Jackson Dart. Good for you to pad the stats there late in that game. I think that game gave you offensively what you needed in terms of, all right, we saw the passing game get going a week ago. You saw Hurts throw for 300. Can they get the running game going? You're without your starting center in this game. there's justifiable reasons to think even though that Giants defense has been poor against the run, they're good up front. Could they get in the backfield and disrupt things? Second play of the game, Barkley hits a home run. And from that point on, all right, they're going to be able to run the football here. And they were able to keep that up. 200-yard rushers, Tank Bigsby. Hey, you know what? Maybe I was wrong on that one. Maybe that trade did have some value to it. Maybe that guy is as good as a runner. Just don't let him return any more kicks, and I think we're all good.
Finally, they put him in there, and it really, and I think this may be a theme that you see in the second half. The hashtag throw the ball thing, they're still at their best when they're not having to throw the ball 30 to 40 times a game. And yesterday the game was over, so you weren't going to have Jalen throwing the ball a lot in the second half. But being able to have another back that comes in, so where Saquon doesn't have to run the ball 20, 25 times a game. He had 14 carries, $150, had the long run. I hope this is just a minor. Is it a hamstring or a groin strain? Groin. So hopefully it's not something that lingers or is a multiple week injury. So it's a good time to have the bye. But yesterday was exactly what the doctor ordered for me.
Yeah, I wanted them to limp into the bye. That was my thing. Once they got to 4-2 and they lost the back-to-back games and they were so banged up, I was like, just get me a win in one of these two. If we get real greedy, maybe they could take two of these two, but just get yourself there. I don't care about style points with all these guys banged up, and that was style points all over the field yesterday.
They looked really good. That game played out exactly the way the people, I'll give you credit for it, Harry, the other people that were like, nah, not worried about this game at all. Giants won a couple weeks. Eagles weren't ready for that game. This is going to be a revenge game. This is also one of these games I have to give Nick Sirianni a lot of credit because he set the tone for the team. When I hear all week from the players that this is about physicality and setting the tone in the running game and playing on the winning in the line of scrimmage, that means that Nick Sirianni came out at the beginning of the week and said, this is what we're going to do this week. This is what he pushed the right buttons. And when the Eagles are at their best, it's not because you have some offensive genius that is an out schemer and Sean McVay where you can go out there and it's like, wow, like this is really like, look at this offense and look at the scheme. And no, it's not. It's pretty much, we're going to line up against you and we're going to run the football and we're going to win. And then we're going to play off that. Yesterday's game was when the Eagles would be at their best last year, running the football effectively, even when the other team knows it's coming, and then playing off of that. 15 of 20 for 4 touchdowns out of Jalen Hurts yesterday.
I saw the tweets. I saw 3 letters being thrown around with his name. I saw people getting excited.
You saw MVP tweets?
Oh, I saw them.
So from put Tanner McKee in to MVP.
Only takes 2 weeks, man.
Yeah, he said two really good games. I'll be curious to see today. Text line 610-632-0975. Phone line 610-632-0975. By no means does this put the Eagles in the Super Bowl. But over the course of 17 games, you're going to have stretches where you don't play well, where you can't seem to get your butt out of your butt, right? You know what I mean? Like your head out of your butt. Like for whatever reason, you get in that period where you're like, well, what are you doing? Like, snap out of it. So they're like, yeah, we're going to go and we're going to have the jumbo package. We're going to have an extra offensive lineman, and we're going to run the ball. And we're a little bit banged up on the offensive line. That was the best run blocking that you've seen since last year, obviously, of the Eagles. And it just felt like they were getting really good push off of the line. And Tank Bigsby had plenty of room to run. Like you had opportunities for Saquon to hit that seam and to make a big play. We haven't seen that since last year.
Yeah, and basically you come off a game where you pass the ball so well, they have to at least respect the fact of what you're going to do, even without A.J. Brown. You got good blocking up front, and you got a defense that saw you throw for 300 yards last week, and that opened up this running game. It sounds like a very simple thing, but it was really, they went into that mini-bye without a lot of answers. They came out of that mini-bye with plenty of them. They've had answers to everything they faced over the last 2 weeks.
They have.
That's big to see. I mean, they were slow coming out of the gate against that Vikings team. They've made adjustments. They took over that second half, and that just carried its way over. I do think we might be talking about that mini-bye, and I'm going to hate myself for using the phrase mini-bye for the rest of the season because it's so dumb.
Well, that's what everybody's.
I know, but it's such a cliche. Oh, it's a mini-bye. But that stretch of time where they got that full weekend to go back and look, I think we're going to look at it similar to the way we looked at everything post-Bucks game last season.
So you're all back in.
I was never out.
Well, You didn't have some concerns?
Well, having concerns is different than being out. When they lost 2 games, I said they were too talented to fall victim to what we saw.
So, all right, just to clarify, being in or out, I'm talking about this team's going to the Super Bowl.
I said I still expected them to play for the NFC Championship.
Okay.
I've been pretty consistent on that one.
This gets my confidence level back up to where Lions, Eagles, 2 best teams in the NFC. They're your 2 teams.
There was another one last night.
Packers looked good last night. By the way, Pittsburgh stinks. Oh, please, give me a break.
Oh, and the Giants are Super Bowl contenders.
Pittsburgh. I know, but see, like that's why I'm not. You're through 8 games. There's a lot of football left to play, and is it home field? Or are the Eagles playing it? I mean, there's a lot of different factors. Yeah, no, the Giants have a quarterback now. So if you're a Giant fan, you're saying, well, we got a quarterback now, so you feel good about it. But that roster's not built to compete against the top teams.
Daboll yesterday, by the reactions, he knew his job is probably going to go after the last 2 weeks.
Well, the refs didn't help him at all yesterday. We'll
get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to that because the tush pushers that are like, see, it's too hard to officiate. What? I mean, the same thing. That could have been a quarterback sneak and the refs would have blown a call. It's got nothing to do with the tush push.
It's too difficult to do this radio job for the next 2 weeks. We deserve an excuse. Yeah, the Eagles didn't give us enough.
Let's eliminate it. When there's a bye week and there's not enough to talk about, we just don't have to do it.
We just don't have to do it.
610-632-0975. Text board, does this make you feel great? And you know what? How about this? Can we get some people that call in or text in to say, you know what, maybe I wasn't fair with Kevin Patullo? Well, and we'll talk about that coming up because I was very supportive of Patullo to where, look back to last year with Kellen Moore. It took him a couple weeks to figure out the personnel and what was going to work best for this offense, right? And I did that with Patullo, and then I hit where I was like, all right, now you got to start getting better. This is ridiculous. You guys suck right now. And I pointed the finger, a lot of it at Patullo. But there was never a fire Patullo out of my mouth. There are people feeling better about Patullo? Want to call in and say, you know what? Maybe I was a little bit of a reactor to that. Thanks for watching Middays with Marks. Like and subscribe right here. If you like and subscribe, you probably are loving what you're watching. There's more of it right here. Check it out.